Say hello to the big, beautiful morning. It's 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair here with the Morning Buzz Tuesday and in the very last weeks of fall of 2021. I'm your host, Kyle Pepitone, joined with my co-host, Jacob Getz.
Hello.
Our newscaster, Ali Arario.
Good morning.
And to an extent, the ghost of Isaiah Ramirez in the background. How is everyone doing today?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic. I was finally able to have coffee before the show, which is something that's always happened, been a struggle for me this season. No access to coffee, but I finally fixed that. So I'll be a lot more cheery today.
Funny you should mention that because I actually skipped out on my morning tea.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it was by choice.
Oh.
I have it in my bag in case I need it. But
okay, cool.
I'm doing good. I have not fallen asleep at the board yet.
Oh,
so
sick.
That's good. We've got a show we have a show for you today, as always, covering the U.S. boycott of the Beijing Olympics, New York City vaccine mandate, and tolls on the Parkway going up. But before that, we have Ali Arario here with our morning news. Ali, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle, and good morning, everybody. My name is Ali Arario, and on this spectacular Tuesday, I am joining you from 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. In national news, there's currently a very powerful storm that is sweeping through Hawaii. This storm began on Monday and has destroyed several power lines as well as knocked down many trees thus far. In some parts of Maui, Hawaii, they have received over 30 centimeters of rain, and the storm unfortunately isn't predicted to end until Wednesday. In some statewide news, the first case of the COVID-19 Omicron variant was detected in New Jersey on Sunday. It was brought into the state by a Georgian woman who traveled to the state by plane. Researchers are unsure if the COVID vaccines can prevent the Omicron variant, although the woman who caught the virus was fully vaccinated. There's no current information on where she is quarantining, but her symptoms were described as moderate. Lastly, for some lighthearted Montclair State University news, on Wednesday from 12:30 until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there's going to be a Furry Friends for Finals at the Student Recreation Center. During this event, students can pet dogs as a way to de-stress from the end of the semester. Be sure to stop by and pet a furry friend. Now for the weather, today we are looking at a high of 48 and a low of 32. It's going to be partly cloudy with a 6% chance of precipitation for the majority of the day. Currently it is 35 degrees and the air quality is excellent. Thank you, and back to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And filling in for Campbell today, we have Jake Getz covering the sports. Jake?
Yes, hello. I am your sports guy for today. Now it's time for your 7 a.m. Sportscast. MNF, a win for the Patriots. 14-10 over the Bills. Check out this stat line for Mac Jones, the Patriot signal caller, 2 for 3, 19 yards. Zero touchdowns and 0 interceptions. You have to read sports lingo. Pat's the first seed in the AFC. Anyone?
You're good.
Okay. Devils lose in a shootout to Ottawa. Now the Senators have flown back and will face the Islanders tonight. The Rangers are in Chicago to face the Blackhawks. Vegas Golden Knights netminder Robin Lear becomes the first player to opt out of the Olympics, citing health reasons. NBA, the Nets face the Mavericks and the Knicks take on the Spurs. On this day in sports, happy birthday to Larry Legend. Larry Legend turns 65. This has been your 7 a.m. Sportscast. Back to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jake.
Gosh, I didn't know sports was like another language.
It is. That's why I avoid them like the plague.
Yeah.
But moving into our first story, and to an extent covering sports, the road to the Beijing Olympics continues to crumble. According to AP News, the White House has confirmed that the U.S. will stage a diplomatic boycott of the upcoming Winter Olympics in Beijing to protest Chinese human rights abuses. Meanwhile, China has vowed to greet the decision with firm countermeasures. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the U.S. athletes will continue to compete and will have our full support, but we will not be contributing to the fanfare of the games. U.S. diplomatic or official representation would treat these games as business as usual in the face of PRC's egregious human rights abuses and atrocities in Xi'an, and we simply can't do that, end quote. She also added, quote, "We have a fundamental commitment to promoting human rights, and we feel strongly in our position, and we will continue to take actions to advance human rights in China and beyond," end quote. Senator Tom Cotton said the diplomatic boycott amounted to a half measure. Senator Cotton then added, quote, "The United States should fully boycott the genocide games in Beijing. American businesses should not financially support the Chinese Communist Party, and we will not expose Team USA to the dangers of a repugnant authoritarian regime that disappears its own athletes," end quote. Yeah, we were talking about this before the show started. This is like empty words. Like, how do you say we're going to boycott the Beijing Olympics but still send all our athletes there?
That must be kind of awkward for the athletes that are going, because they're just going to be there and it's like, hey, our country's kind of boycotting you, but we're here.
Yeah.
Hey,
it doesn't make any sense.
It is a half measure, very much. It was reading that like a lot of countries aren't sending their like diplomats just because of COVID out of those concerns. I know, I think it was New Zealand that had made that decision beforehand. And it's not really, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just kind of like an easy way to make something out of that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's, I don't know if anyone is looking at this like, yeah, this is a good decision, let's boycott them because they're human rights abuses. But like, that's not at all what they're doing.
Yeah,
they're pretty much actually just supporting the Beijing Olympics by sending our people there, by sending our athletes, I mean.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with Senator Cotton.
Yeah,
that it really should be a full boycott, with, you know, the Uyghur genocide being the kind of large scale atrocity that it is. We really should not be participating.
Yeah. Allie, any thoughts?
No, I mean, I think you guys both covered it. I think, you know, there's definitely like the intent is there, but at the same time, like it's a little bit hypocritical and there's really not much that's going to really cover. So everything you guys said.
Yeah. And moving on to the next story, Jake, take it away.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So New York City to impose vaccine mandate on private sector employees. All private employers in New York City will have to require their workers to get vaccinated against COVID-19, Mayor Bill de Blasio announced Monday. The move by Mayor Bill de Blasio comes as cases are climbing again in the US, and the worrisome but little understood Omicron variant is gaining a toehold in the nation's largest city and elsewhere in the country. Mayor Bill de Blasio had this to say on the massive decision, quote, "We in New York City have decided to use a preemptive strike to do something really bold to stop the further growth of COVID and the dangers it's causing to all of us. The mandate will take effect on December 27th, with in-person workers needing to provide proof that they have received at least one dose of the vaccine, and they will not be allowed to get out of the requirement by agreeing to regular COVID-19 testing instead. The measure will apply to roughly 184,000 businesses not covered by previous vaccine mandates, ranging from multinational corporations to mom and pop businesses in the city of 8.8 million people. According to a spokesperson for the mayor, the city's private sector workforce is 3.7 million. Also, anyone 12 and older who wants to dine indoors at a restaurant, go to a gym, or see a show will have to produce proof of having received 2 shots of the vaccine, up from the current requirement of 1 dose, the mayor said. And children 5 to 11 will have to show proof of at least 1 shot.
All right.
Yes. Oh, wait. Sorry, there's a little more.
Oh.
De Blasio said that the moves are aimed at starving off a spike of infections amid holiday gatherings and the cold weather, which drives more people indoors where the virus can spread easily. Yeah, I'm sure no one's going to have strong opinions about this.
Nah. Well, here's the thing. Allie mentioned in our newscast too that the Omicron variant, we don't know exactly if vaccinations are effective against it as much as they are like the base strand of COVID. So it's very interesting to see if this is actually going to have the desired outcome that de Blasio is hoping for, whether to like drive off that spike before it actually happens.
I was doing some research into that last night because I was actually a little bit curious. And I know like each president of each different company that's been releasing the vaccines has kind of said something different. So like
Oh, really?
it's kind of like a matter of like who's saying what, and like it's just all like a big, I don't know, something to figure out.
Right. Do you know if there's a lot of people or a lot of these private businesses on board with this, or is there like a lot of backlash coming from private businesses that now have to require their workers to get this vaccine? Because we've seen, I believe we covered last week too, there was a mandate for health workers that didn't
Mhm.
go through in some states. It wasn't across the country, and I know New York wasn't one of them, but a federal judge barred the Biden administration from requiring health workers to mandate the vaccine for health workers. And I'm wondering if in New York it's kind of getting that same kind of fight, if that makes sense.
I
Where it's
can't say
like-
for sure. I don't
yeah.
have anything in front of me to like any reports of the backlash, but I
mean-
could imagine it's there.
Yeah, I'm probably not to an extent as it is in more red states, but
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, it's just irresponsible to think everybody is 100% on board, and going off of that, it's irresponsible to think everybody's 100% against it.
Yeah.
But to be realistic, I'm sure not everybody agrees with this decision, either be it the private sectors or maybe parents of children 5 to 11 or 12 and whatever, because it's a big change in life.
Not if you're only already vaccinated, which
Well,
I'm sure a lot of
yeah.
people in New York probably already are.
Right.
Mm.
But for children, the proof was only one shot. Now it's, at least for 12 and older, it's the full vaccination. So that's going to be very different depending on how many children 12 and up were fully vaccinated at this time, because they only needed only one to, be allowed in places up until now.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. If you're willing to get one and you're not gonna make a thing of that, then
Yeah, I mean,
I feel like two isn't that like all right. get
and
another one.
that's actually interesting the way you said it, because if you get the Johnson, I believe is still only one.
Oh, that's
correct?
true. That's kind of
So-
interesting how it kind of puts that on it, where it's like you might have to get two. What if you got the Johnson and Johnson?
Yeah, does that mean
Do I get it twice?
Yeah,
You're not supposed to do that.
Well, there's the booster shots now, so technically
yeah,
that would
maybe.
count as a second one, which makes me wonder.
Don't you have to go like a certain amount of time before getting the booster shot though?
I
Yeah,
don't know.
because
Yeah,
I
I'm
think
not
the point of the
100%
booster
sure.
is to
Yeah,
like
Good point.
like revitalize it as it kind of loses its effectiveness over time.
I know for a lot of venues and stuff, you have to be fully vaccinated for at least like 2 weeks
Yeah,
before you're allowed anywhere. So I'm sure if you're getting a booster, it's way longer than that, like a month or two, maybe. I mean, that's my understanding of it. Obviously, you have to look at it in, a lot of people have been fully vaccinated for a long time now before the boosters were even considered. And Isaiah is telling us it's about a 6-month period between the two, between the second
that
shot
sounds
and the
about
booster.
right.
So, and he's also telling us that, yeah, there's a lot of backlash for this mandate, as you expect, and also brought up the possibility of fake vaccination cards.
I actually heard something about this.
Really?
At least in New Jersey, there might be a bit of a transition to online vaccination cards. There was an app called Docket that because I recently got my booster, and I was able to show that I was vaccinated with this app called Docket that actually goes into the government's health registry
Right.
to show that you're vaccinated, and there's a barcode that you could scan. And
Oh,
I
wow.
think that might end up being the real kind of, that might replace the vaccine cards, because people are faking them,
Yeah.
and it is a problem. And like people are just kind of showing them. Even if you don't fake it, you could just kind of hold up a vaccine card,
Right.
and most people will just kind of like hawk check. You just like,
Yeah, you just go,
like, okay,
hold it up for a second, hope they saw it, and then
yeah,
just carry
no,
on
they
with
won't
your day.
notice that you did it like in October.
Yeah. But with that being said, we are going to take a short break. And when we come back, we've got more news for you, this time regarding the Parkway and the Turnpike. So I'm sorry for all you commuters out there. But until then, stay tuned to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We'll be right back. And welcome back to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the Tuesday edition of the Fall 2021 Morning Buzz. It is December 7th, 2021. And do you know what that means?
What's it mean?
We have, not including this week, we have one more Tuesday Buzz left of the semester.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I wasn't ready for that.
I know. It's been fun.
It has been.
But we'll save the tears for next week.
Yeah, no, we're not there quite yet.
Right now, I am your host, Cobb Uptone, joined with Jacob Getz, Ali Aurario, and the ghost of Isaiah Ramirez in the background. And we have our next story here from NJ.com, where it says your Parkway and Turnpike tolls are going up on January 1st. I'm so sorry. Drivers in the state of New Jersey who frequent the two largest toll roads in the state are facing another 3% toll hike on January 1st. Included in the NJ Turnpike Authority's $2.289 billion 2022 budget is an annual toll rate indexing at 3% effective January 1st, 2022, which means your pockets will look a bit emptier at the start of the new year. Tom Feeney, a Turnpike Authority spokesman, explained the reasoning of the increase in a statement, saying, quote, "The purpose of the 3% indexing is to provide a stable funding source for capital needs. That's where the additional revenue will be going. It will support the unprecedented amount of work being done under the authority's long-term capital program." End quote. Tolls last increased on September 13th, 2020 by 36% on the Turnpike and 27% on the Parkway, and 37% on the Atlantic City Expressway, to fund a 10-year, $24 billion capital plan on the Parkway and Turnpike and a similar $500 million plan for the Expressway. The 2020 approval changed how future toll hikes are done by starting an annual process allowing yearly toll hikes up to 3% based on certain economic indicators starting in 2022, although officials have not said what the economic indicators are for this year. Under the indexing plan, Parkway barrier tolls for Easy Pass customers in passenger vehicles will increase from $1.90 to $1.96 at the start of the new year. Cash tolls are rounded to the nickel rather than the penny, meaning the cash toll for the Parkway Barrier Plaza will be $2. The average passenger vehicle Turnpike toll, now cost $4.80, will rise to $4.95 under the increase. Oh boy, that's a lot of information to swallow.
Yeah, man, just in case you were enjoying living in New Jersey, just a little too much. One thing I want to point out is, I don't know, I feel like this quote is just kind of hilarious. The purpose of the 3% indexing is to provide a stable funding source for capital needs. Yeah, it sure is, Tom.
That's exactly what I was going to point out. Like, we didn't have stable funding before.
Yes.
Is it really gonna? I mean, obviously, yes, it's going to increase a lot.
Yeah.
With this just 3%. But seriously?
Yeah, like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny how he just said we're charging more because we need more money.
Yeah,
and it's just I don't know, just I don't know. Well, I like the honesty. I'll say that.
Yeah, but then again, I would like it more if they just didn't.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah. I mean, do you realize how many people drive on these roads all the time?
There is a lot.
It's more than stable enough.
Yeah.
And it's just the thing, they're going off of these $24 billion capital plan, $500 million plan, $2.2 billion budget. Maybe if you lowered these prices, you'd have more stable funding.
Yeah. I am curious about what their plans are exactly. I guess to update the infrastructure of the roads, which, I mean,
you mean the road work they've been doing here in Montclair for 5 years now?
Yes, the never-ending Route 46 construction. Man, wouldn't it be nice if there was just a nice high-speed railway just across America? No one had to drive cars. That'd be nice.
Are you talking about the NJ Transit?
Just no, but more.
Yeah,
But like like you
No.
could take a train anywhere. That'd be sick.
that's fair. Or like, teleportation, but I don't know if scientifically we're there yet.
Yeah, but we could do trains.
Yeah.
Trains are real. I didn't make trains up.
No, trains have been around for a while. More
But they could be
longer
like
than
really
cars?
fast now.
Have trains
Yeah,
been
I
around
think
longer than cars?
yeah, easy.
Interesting. I'm getting confirmation from both Jake and Isaiah. Yes, trains have been around longer than cars, which is interesting because I feel like one is more effective than the other.
Which one's more effective?
Trains.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Right.
there's a convenience in cars, but there's no traffic jams with trains,
This is very true.
nor are there tolls. I
They're
mean, you
also
got to
better
buy your
for the
ticket,
environment and more like if they're designed well, much more efficient and probably a lot less time consuming.
but yeah. Yeah, no, that's right. They probably are faster depending on how they're built and stuff.
Oh yeah, I think it was Japan's railway system that's like amazing.
Mhm.
Like I
Yeah.
know like if it takes you like because like the way it runs is like so efficient that if you're waiting like more than 5 minutes for your like
Not even
to get on the train, it's like something must be wrong.
Yeah, not even. It's like even 20-second delays, like the conductors are
Yeah.
profusely apologizing for. It's
Really?
insane how the train system
No,
works.
I need to
there.
learn more about that because that's so interesting.
Yeah. But with that being said, Jake, do you want to take us away to our next
Yes.
story?
Now here's a question. Do you remember an individual by the name of Jesse Smollett? How'd I do on that pronunciation? I think that was good.
That was good, but I'll be honest.
No.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
no,
who it is.
me
I
neither.
don't watch a lot of TV, so
Okay, so
please tell me more.
this individual was an was an actor on the show Empire, but is no longer. The former Empire actor Jesse Smollett denied Monday that he staged an anti-gay racist attack on himself, testifying at his trial that there was no hoax, that quote, there was no hoax, end quote, and that he was the victim of a hate crime in his downtown Chicago neighborhood. Smollett, who faces charges that he lied to the Chicago police about the January 2019 attack, sought to refute damaging testimony from two brothers last week. The brothers said Smollett orchestrated the hoax to get publicity, giving them $100 for supplies and instructing them to place a noose around his neck and yell homophobic slurs. They also said Smollett gave them a $3,500 check to carry it out. Smollett appeared calm throughout several hours of testimony, saying he wrote the $3,500 check to Abimbola Asurando for nutrition and training advice. Asked by this defense attorney if he gave Asurando's payment for some kind of hoax, Smollett replied, never. Attorney Nian Ush asked again if he planned a hoax. Quote, no, Smollett said, there was no hoax, end quote. He also said, absolutely not, when asked if he gave Asurando and his brother $100 to pay for supplies for the fake attack.
So, Jake, you said before the show that you heard about this when it was
Yes.
happening, right?
I remember following the story when it was actually happening, and it was a bit of a roller coaster because at first it was just kind of straightforward reported as
right.
this pretty well-known actor was the victim of a hate crime, and then I forget how long it took after the story was announced. It was like then there started to roll in other stories of
Right.
he might have faked it.
Huh.
And I don't know, I'm not sure what the evidence is that it was fake. I guess they have these two brothers who are testifying that they were hired to stage this attack, but I don't know. The idea of anyone staging a hate crime to me is just very bizarre. I'm not sure what the motive,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well-
That seems like a really bad thing to speculate on. Like I don't know.
That it was fake.
Yeah, no, I don't like this. I don't know. It's hard because you don't want to I guess you got to carry out all suspicions, but I don't.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would put past, actors as a whole. They do a lot of crazy things just to get publicly recognized or sympathy or any of that. But on the other hand, it is a horrible thing.
Yeah.
If it is real.
like,
I mean, it's a horrible thing if it's fake too, because that means you're willing to like stoop down to such a level just for
because things like this do happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. I think when they happen, it's important that we, generally like believe victims and take their, claims and reports seriously.
Right.
But I guess if there's reason to believe that this was staged, then it should be investigated. And I guess they'll come to their conclusions and we'll hear about it. But it's a very kind of disconcerting story.
Allie, did you want to say something?
I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's difficult to, I don't know, both sides, you don't really know what happened. And obviously like the people involved are the only ones that can really know what happened, but it's just such a tricky situation.
Right. Yeah.
And, yeah.
It is. It's very thin ice you have to walk on here, because if it's true, then it's a horrible thing that happened. If it was faked and a hoax, then there are two potentially innocent people who might be charged for a crime. But then again, if they went along with it, if it was a hoax, that doesn't look too good for them either.
That's true. Being complicit in staging a hate crime is pretty I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah. I mean, they were given and
it's kind of hard to like say that you didn't know what was going on.
Right. Especially if somebody explicitly gives you $3,500 plus an extra 100 for supplies and be like, specifically do this, and this.
Tie a noose around like wait a second.
No, you were right. Place a noose around his neck.
Yeah,
that was one of the things that happened. So you can't say like, oh, I didn't know what was happening. Like, fake or not, you did participate in this.
Yeah, they would definitely have to face some sort of consequences as well.
Yeah, maybe not as severe if it was a hoax, but
of course, but
still some kind of consequence, like you said. But with that being said, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got a few other things to wrap up the last half of the hour, including day 9 of the 12 Days of Buzzmyth, and as always, Emily McCormack with the Tunes on Tuesday segment. Stay tuned for all of that here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And welcome back to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. This is the fall 2021 Tuesday Morning Buzz. I'm your host, Cop Uptone, with co-host Jacob Getz, newscaster Ali Aurario, and in the background, Isaiah Ramirez. And right now, we have day 9 of the 12 Days of Buzzmyth. If you've been following the Morning Buzz, you know that for the past 12, 11, 10, 3 to 4-ish days, we have been taking a list of the top X whatevers of the year. Day 12 was songs, day 11 was streaming shows, day 10 was movies, and now day 9 is social media trends, hosted by Isaiah Ramirez, Gabby Lutz, Lara Zaccardi, and Madi Zuniga. So here you have that right now.
Born in 1964, Jeffrey Bezos. Oh, did we just?
Okay.
Wow.
What an introduction to Buzzmyth, guys.
That was so good.
And today is a very special day because Buzzmyth is still going on. And today we're going to be talking about the top 9 social media trends. And if you couldn't tell, maybe that was one of them. Maybe it wasn't. But we have a special crew. It may sound familiar, actually. But it's me, Isaiah, joined by Gabby, Lara, and the one and only Marty.
Wow.
Spooked. Guys, we love social media. We love memes. We love trend things.
Specifically memes.
And we have 2 experts, maybe even 3 experts in all the field. Do you guys want to take the reins?
Of course. Who would like to go first?
Well, what order do we want to go?
Oh my god, we can do whatever we want.
May I talk about Bonk?
Yes,
I'm very
of course.
excited.
Let's open with Bonk.
Okay, so here's Bonk. So is everyone familiar with Godzilla versus Kong that came out earlier this year?
Kind of.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
That's my Godzilla
basically
noise.
it's a remake of the original Godzilla versus King Kong. And in that movie, there is a scene where the original King Kong throws a rock, a giant boulder, on top of Godzilla's head. So there's a meme that went around that after when the movie was coming out, that it's a silent, you just hear it throw it, and then when it lands on Godzilla's head, it goes bonk. It is my favorite thing ever.
So good.
And when it was introduced to the Morning Buzz, I was just like, yes,
The
I
morning-
know this meme.
You mean the morning bonk?
The Morning Bonk.
Bong.
I was like, I don't know. I just love it.
It's a good one.
It is.
It for sure is. It's good comedy.
It's a reliable one, I feel, it's just good enough to get the job done.
I even made my own meme for it.
It's
Did you?
superior.
I did.
Superior
should.
slapstick humor.
It is.
Superior
I just
slapstick humor.
slapped.
Put that on a shirt.
It's
That-
basic.
You know what?
but
That did
great.
slap actually.
You know it actually physically slapped.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so.
So is that
cool.
number
Crazy.
one? Is that number one right now?
The question
Or
is, what's number
nine?
two?
The question
What
is,
is number
are we going in any particular order?
No, I
I
mean
feel
we
like
could
we're
just
not at
go
this
that
point.
order.
Yeah.
Lara can go, Gabby go, back to Marty, and then
All right, so I have a great one.
mhm.
I feel like Isaiah, we've gone back and forth with doing this. So this might be, I don't think it's my personal favorite, but it's up there.
It's definitely up there.
It's making fun of Twilight.
Yes.
And I've seen this on TikTok emerge from spring, probably all the way to fall. I've
Yeah.
seen it so much. People are calling it Twilight Core 2 and like dressing like Bella
Bro,
Swan.
no.
The worst part is that I remember what was this, the author Stephanie Meyer was like, "Oh, I didn't want to dress Bella very glamorously," and here are the TikTok girls 10 years later.
Dumb.
So
That is one of my favorite things to
Yeah.
just do, and I'm glad. I think that's one of the first interactions we ever even had with each other was just
Bella.
doing that.
where have you been, Loca?
Stop! You're just embarrassing me, Edward.
I just want to
Hold on
point
tight.
out.
Hold on tight,
Cringe.
Spider Monkey.
All right, you're done. I
You're
want to
done.
point out that I have a shirt with the Robert Pattinson meme on it, and he's in the woods, and then his tracksuit is all sparkly, and it says, "This is the skin of a killer, Bella." And I have a shirt, and I have that shirt, and I wear it unironically.
Say it like Edward.
This is the skin of wait. Hold on. This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
We have to-
You gotta be like really dead. I know.
I know what you are.
What am I?
Vampire.
A very sparkly one.
Yes. You know what? Use that highlight.
You're not going to hurt me. I know you.
Oh my gosh.
My favorite one's when she's talking about the rain in the first movie. No, I don't like rain.
You know, I think I'm proud to say I've never seen one Twilight movie.
You know what's crazy? I've seen
That's
all
so
of them
sad. Yeah,
in
I've seen all
theater.
of them. I
Actually,
used to love them.
I did not like
They
them.
were like my favorite
They
thing
look
ever.
like cringe to me.
They are very cringe, but
Yes. Well, they definitely are.
it's a great ride. I enjoyed the Twilight series just because of that. It was worth it.
I'm
Just
glad.
for that.
Yeah. So number
Three.
3, or is it 2? No, 3.
Well, I'm gonna start with one. Berries and
Hold up.
cream. Berries
a
and
minute.
cream. Berries and cream. Berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries.
I'm
and
actually
cream.
not
God.
familiar with this one.
Neither
you
am
not?
I.
I'm not. I've heard of it,
You're
but I don't know
all,
what it
you're
is.
all lying to me.
I've
right now.
never
let's
heard of
hear
this
it.
thing.
This
I've
was
heard
all over my TikTok
For
for a
real?
month.
See, that's the,
And I
that's the
literally
problem.
stopped going on TikTok because of it.
That's the problem. I don't have TikTok. Well, I have it, but I don't use it.
So,
that's
it's
why.
Explain.
It's this little like I don't even know how to explain what he's wearing. He's got this bob. He's got this little like Lara, look it up. That's exactly what he's got this like little peasant boy outfit. There you go.
Wow.
And it's this grown man. He goes and he's clapping and he's doing this little dance and he's like berries and cream, berries and cream.
Oh,
I'm a
no.
little
There we
lad who
go.
loves berries and cream.
Yeah.
Whatever. So people started making remixes.
No.
Of it.
Oh.
It looks like Willy Wonka.
Yes. Like a sad little Willy Wonka.
That's
No,
a
wait, I
Lord
had that same
Farquaad.
haircut when I was like 9 years old.
So did I.
No.
He looks like if
Yeah.
if Mr. Bean dressed up as Lord Farquaad.
For real.
Yeah,
that's
No,
very
that's a good
That's what he
valid.
looks like.
That's accurate.
Oh, that's
So
the
we-
normal Google search is just
Hello.
berries.
No, we are
No.
not Kenny.
We're
Goodbye,
not Kenny,
Benjamin.
guys.
Benjamin just walked in. Yeah, so it was made into remixes for every single song possible, and it was all over my TikTok for a month. I had to stop going on TikTok because I was sick of seeing it. People dressed up like berries and cream for Halloween.
I was just looking
That's
at
just
that.
Yep.
so absurd.
it was
Oh my
a whole
No.
thing. I know the dance and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. It was
Wow.
crazy.
Insert note for editor. Play the song.
Play a song.
It's going right now.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny, guys?
Uh,
Anyways, we have another meme
Yeah.
All right.
or social media
So
Tossing you my phone.
channel. Oh, okay.
We'll take turns.
All right, cool. Where are we?
I almost missed the chair.
Not the chair.
Not the chair.
That's an honorable mention.
You know what? I'm not sure what I'm supposed to read because there's no numbers. So
Anything
I'm
you
gonna go
want.
ahead and
Anything you
okay,
want.
cool.
One.
We're gonna go with devious leg because I feel like that was the most absurd thing I've ever seen.
Annabella, if you
Um,
ask Annabella, she hates this.
It's so absurd because the
It's
first time I
crazy.
saw it, someone literally stole an entire bathroom urinal.
Oh yeah, someone
So,
stole.
How is that even
sink.
physically
The one
possible?
I saw,
You
someone
know?
stole a bathroom sink.
Oh, yeah, I
people
saw
just
that.
have the
How?
tools.
The stall. I saw someone steal.
Yeah.
stall.
Steal a stall. Now that's
Like, but
where
what
I'm
do they do with these
concerned.
things? These things are used. It's a
For
public
real, yeah,
bathroom. So
yeah.
do you just bring
How
it
do they
home?
how do they get
bathroom?
away with it?
I
Because
know,
like how do you leave the
leave?
bathroom with
Yeah.
this whole big thing and nobody says
Well, if you
nothing?
think
Right.
about
I
it,
guess-
public schools is just like.
They
I was
just
gonna
don't
say
care.
that.
As a
They're
member
just
of
eh.
public school, that seems about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only
Um,
that, these kids are built different these
They
days.
are built
They're a
different.
whole different breed.
They're a
Incredibly
whole
different.
breed.
You
If
know
you're
what's
a child,
crazy?
I'm
I think
sorry,
the
you're
most
scared.
absurd one though is someone was using like the bathroom and then someone came into the bathroom and was like, yeah, I'm gonna steal your shoe. And I didn't think he'd actually steal the shoe. He went under the stall, stole the kid's shoe, and then left.
Imagine how traumatizing that is
For-
to be
yeah.
in the bathroom and somebody be like, I'm gonna steal it.
That's
feel-
a-
yes,
I'm
I
just
am.
like,
I feel like
guys,
we're-
I can't use the bathroom here anymore. Why? Because the last time I was here, someone
Someone
stole my shoe.
I feel like we're approaching a line.
I know. Okay, before we move on though, another bathroom related one is that there's this guy's TikTok where he just goes into the bathroom and he'll walk in, he's like, somebody's pooping.
That I was gonna say that, but
For
I was
real.
scared that was gonna cross the line.
You know, we
What
we
are
like to
you
teeter on the
doing?
line.
We like to teeter
Yeah,
on the line.
literally.
The third one's the best one out of all of them.
I'm sure it is.
Let's move on before the
Yeah,
line gets
before,
even more
before we get
crossed.
canceled.
Pick anyone you want.
Okay, so this one, I love this one. Bernie Sanders.
Ah,
Benny.
Only because
Bernie.
when he did this meme, it was a mood. So, I can I look at it again.
oh, I just deleted it.
He's
Okay.
sitting at the
So anyway,
inauguration.
basically, he's sitting at Biden's inauguration. That's the part I couldn't remember. So he's sitting in Biden's inauguration. You know, everyone's dressed up nice. You know, amazing clothes. He's sitting in this chair, legs crossed, arms over each
the
other,
mittens.
wearing the most basic outfit, which is amazing, and the mittens.
Yes.
He just looks so cozy, but also like he doesn't want to be there.
He didn't care.
He
was
did not
like-
care.
He said, you know what? Comfort over fashion.
He said, "I am once again asking for your financial support."
But like the funniest part to me is that he is every antisocial when they go to a party. They're just in the corner, sitting there patiently, waiting for the friend that brought them there, that went to go talk to somebody else and left them alone. They're just there in the corner.
And you know what? I saw a picture more recently, and it was Bernie at the grocery store. And he was in the same
No.
fit,
We've seen Bernie
Whoa.
everywhere.
mittens
really
and
has been
all.
everywhere.
And
And
I
then-
was like, wow,
And since it happened before Halloween, some people were dressed as him for Halloween.
yes.
As Bernie Sanders.
No,
Yes.
wait, it happened.
It's perfect.
No,
Didn't it happen before?
that was January 2021.
Yeah, that was like very.
No, I'm
early.
saying as in like
Oh,
I meant before this year's
now.
Halloween.
Yes,
Yeah.
my bad. I
I've
thought you
seen
meant
some pictures where
2020.
people actually dressed up as Bernie.
That would be the perfect
That's-
costume,
oh, I've seen
especially if
that.
it's cold out,
Yeah.
cozy and fun.
Isn't that crazy? That's
Exactly.
just someone's outfit and someone's just dressing up as that.
Imagine
That's
like
hilarious.
college girls just kind of spice it up.
Tell you
So-
what,
You
Someone's
might-
just
you might
like,
need to
yo,
snip that out.
but they're just like, yo, Bernie stole my fit.
we're gonna leave it.
We're gonna leave it.
Stole
Yeah.
my fit.
But no,
Well,
they
some
make it
outfits
spicy.
Yeah, they make it spicy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Make it spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think about it.
We need
I
to
don't.
move
I don't
on.
want to cross the line.
Nope, you're good.
Let's
Let's
move
move
on.
on.
Yeah.
Moving
Anywho.
on.
Anyway.
Can't have two in a row where we almost have to cut the whole recording, guys.
So I wanted to talk about Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Mr. 305.
Yeah.
The one
Mr.
and only.
Worldwide. I feel like he's been in the background, but he hasn't emerged until this year.
Yes.
Here's the thing. I think Pitbull has been a trend and a meme since Pitbull was born, pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever gonna go away. He might like have a little silence area, but he's always gonna pop up somehow.
Always.
Personally, I think Pitbull is better than Guy Fieri, as in memes.
Kyle,
yeah,
Kyle would
I would
be
agree.
furious. right
I'm
now.
sorry,
Wow.
Kyle. I'm so sorry, but
No,
I
I
Mr.
agree.
Worldwide.
He's still better with Chili's.
I know.
Oh.
I remember seeing
love
Alex.
Stop with the chilies.
I remember sitting outside of College Hall or Cole Hall, whatever it's called now. And I remember seeing Alex, which is the sportscaster for Wednesday, holding a Pitbull cutout.
No way.
Yeah, I think it was
Is
Pitbull.
he the Montclair State Pitbull?
he might
Whoa,
be.
He might-
maybe.
I just put 2 and 2 together.
He might be the
Wow.
guy.
We will have to
Guy.
interrogate him about this later.
I
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
for
I'm gonna
sure.
talk. I'm gonna talk to him next week, guys, and get the.
Is he gonna be at-
Oh,
confirmation.
he is on
Uh,
Wednesdays,
He's
right?
Wednesdays.
He is on Wednesday. We have to.
That's the
confront.
most Alex thing, by the way. I feel like that's something he would do.
That is
I
something
think
I
it was
would do.
Pitbull. I second guess myself.
What if
But
it's
I'm
just a
like, you know-
bald guy?
Just a,
Mr.
just
it's
a
Mr.
random
Worldwide.
bald guy.
Just a rando.
Yeah, I think he's great.
You know, he's
Fireball.
been there. He's done that. You know?
Fireball.
That was so good. He's going down. He's
I'm going to town on the sound effects of Pitbull in the background.
As you
right
should.
now. Mhm.
Please do.
Well, no, there's like recently a video, and it was like of Pitbull being all like messing up the lyrics to his own song, and and the thing was, "Don't worry, guys, he's been there."
He's done that.
All right, so let's talk about. We're gonna get a little So we're going to give a nice "awa awa" for respects. If anybody remembers Pudgy Woke on TikTok, Pudgy was a little chihuahua, little scrawny dude, and he used to and
In the headphones of the
yes,
Apple headphones.
and he used to bite at his owner's like headphone mic and go crazy at him, and the owl owl was very aggressive.
But he had a
and-
heart of gold.
And he did have a heart of cold, and
T's and P's to the little dog. Was it a dog?
it was a dog, it was a
A
chihuahua.
long hair chihuahua.
And everybody loved him. He was our favorite. And recently, in this past year, with his coming up to fame, he also has passed away. So
Oh,
big
man.
R.I.P. to Pudgy Woke.
R.I.P. Is that his name, Pudgy Woke?
Well, it's just Pudgy, but his account was
Okay.
Pudgy Woke.
Also another hour for
know.
Pudgy's possible girlfriend, Maddie.
Oh, she's alone. She's a widow.
yes, she is a widow.
What if they were married?
I don't. Were they?
What if they had kids?
They definitely
Secretly
were not
in
married.
secret.
What if they had a house? Wow, that's sad,
What if they
guys.
shared the same kibble bowl?
I don't think they lived together.
They
Okay.
definitely
Oh,
didn't.
they
They
weren't
did
at
not.
that
Social
phase
media
yet.
put them
Oh,
together.
Social
no.
media did.
Yeah,
Oh
they didn't get there yet.
wow, that's sad.
that's so sad.
I wish her well.
He died alone.
Ow, ow.
R.I.P. guys. So we have 2 more trends to get to, and the next trend is none other than Miss Kim Kardashian, as she, you know,
The queen herself.
the queen herself,
ruling the internet.
the ex-wife of the one and only Kanye West.
Dating-
Yay.
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 Oh,
yay.
yay! I'm sorry.
Who's also dating Pete Davidson.
I would just like to have. an
Kanye is
apology
not
video
dating
right here.
Pete Davidson.
No, I
Goodness.
Imagine.
That'd be a great.
But that was the
couple.
whole
What a moment.
Jeffree Star and Kanye rumors.
Yes.
Oh, that was hilarious.
insane.
I was
That's
like,
just
what?
What if it was right though?
That's what it reminded me
What
of.
if it still is?
They
What
man?
if
both
it was
moved to
real?
Wyoming.
What if they're
they
together?
both did?
I think so.
I think there's a chance that they're just dating.
Scandalous.
Mhm.
Like, what do you move to Wyoming for? It doesn't
Right?
exist. No, I'm kidding.
Wyoming is terrible, garbage, and no one should ever go to Wyoming. Okay,
Garbo.
absolute garbo. But Kim Kardashian, she went to the Met Gala, and dressed in the most ridiculous outfit I think I've ever seen. Full on
Did you
black
almost call it a
bodysuit.
costume?
I almost said costume. I was like, it's a Halloween costume.
No, it's
But
definitely
it
not.
was real and it was fashion.
It was
according to
Lizzo's
me.
Halloween costume.
Was it really?
It was one of her Halloween costumes. Yeah.
Hey, Lizzo be
I-
doing Lizzo
Yeah.
things.
I like how Kim stuck out her
Ponytail.
ponytail. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to,
Yep.
you know. Put
And the
ponytail
the
there.
pointed heels.
She really.
giving to mentor.
Wait.
Giving-
Yes.
We don't have much time left. We need to get to the last trend, guys.
Oh no!
Rats.
Time management's crazy, guys.
Maddie, do you want to give it to us?
All right, guys.
Go!
You guys remember the Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The best part of it was the weekend.
Yes.
Blinded by the
We,
lights.
we loved the performance, but he made
Yeah.
a meme of himself.
He
Yes.
did.
How did he
Blinding
make it?
lights with the camera, just like
Oh,
looking
so
insane.
great.
And he's going like crazy at the
Mhm.
camera.
It is funny because the
Lost.
blinding lights
So
video is
lost.
just like that too.
It really
Yeah.
is.
You know what? He had a purpose to it.
And you know what else had a purpose? Buzzmas. As we're coming to a close here on Buzzmas, guys. That's been your social media trends. Back to the Morning Buzz for more Morning Buzz stuff. Bye.
Thank you, past version of Isaiah. Yes, this is the Morning Buzz. And we do have Isaiah sitting in this room right now, or the ghost of him, giving us tips and tricks from behind the scenes. But right now, you have reached the Tunes on Tuesday segment of the Morning Buzz with your segment host, Emily McCormack. Emily, what can we expect on Tunes on Tuesday today?
Firstly, I have to give an awa. I just have to. It has to happen. Anyways, Tunes on Tuesday is our weekly new music show curated by the music team here at WMSC. This week's interviews, again, we have a double feature is with WMSC's own Father Rhyme, interviewed by our music librarian, Jared Tauber, as well as interview with Caroline Skye by Amina Ali. Father Rhyme, also known as Nate Williams, is not only a student here at Montclair State University, but is the programming and engineering director here at WMSC. This episode, he speaks about his inspiration and history behind his recent single, Fear of Clyfoff, where he touches on how topics such as racism are and aren't spoken about in the music industry, and the changing of people's ideals throughout time. Father Rhyme talks about influential video games and the inspiration he finds from their plots and societal concepts, such as protesting and social injustice. He speaks about his musical influences, including the likes of Childish Gambino, as well as his 2019 album titled Carnivals with Friends, and how the album actually originally came from a college essay. The text explores Father Rhyme's relationship with friends, connection with family, and your support system, and how this has helped him become the person he is today. He speaks about the vocalist Emily Ertl, who was featured on Father Rhyme's most recent single, and how he discovered her voice years before he began making music, as well as the collaborative writing process. He talks about possible upcoming releases, including a complete album, a project he wants to create a full musical experience for his listeners that he hopes will resonate with his lyrics. Our second interview today is with artist Caroline Skye. She speaks about her single Dancing in July and goes into detail about the process behind the making of the song and its collaborative aspect, and describes it as a party love song. She also speaks about the significance of July, citing her positive summer mood and the freedom of responsibility during that time of year. She touches on overcoming writer's block, music as a creative and calming outlet, and her musical influences and inspirations, including her own father, a musician who plays on her songs, as well as Frank Ocean, Daniel Caesar, and Remy Wolf. She speaks about what to expect from her upcoming music, including transition into more soul and funk pop music, and her desire to explore new genres with her career. Her latest single is available on Spotify and Apple Music. New music from Father Rhyme and Caroline Skye this week, and more tunes from Emmy Melly, Animal Sun, Wallows, Citizen Soldier, Grabbits, and Whoa Whoa Whoa, The Beatles, and so much more. Tunes on Tuesday airs at 2 and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You could listen in for new music and good vibes. I've also been told to share fun facts that Jared reported that we are technically allowed to chart the Beatles songs on the 2021 mix of Let It Be.
I don't agree with that last part, but okay. I don't run the music
You'll
team,
have to
so
speak with our music librarian about that.
I might have to, but fine, whatever. Beatles aside, that's not the important part. The important part is the two interviews you just mentioned, as you mentioned, like our very own Nate Williams.
Yes. I was gonna do a call to action. Remember? I highly recommend you listen to Father Rhyme.
It's okay as long as you acknowledge you're
Yes.
breaking the rules. If you give a warning, then it's okay.
Yes, it's a high recommendation. It's
And
good stuff.
of course, Caroline Skye too. A lot of good music, and the fact that we've been running like 4 consecutive weeks of double features not only shows like how much great music is out there in just like of local artists and stuff, but just how on top of it our music team is, because like we are killing it, especially Holly, who's just like coming in every day with like 5 new interview opportunities.
For sure. I get very excited when I get sent interviews with 2 artists in the same episode. That just shows like there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And there's always new artists out there to find and discover, and you could have a lovely conversation with.
Yeah, definitely. And the whole we're also focusing with these 2 singles, 2 vastly different topics. You have Nate focusing on social issues like social injustice and a whole protest song, and then you come to Caroline Skye and she's writing about positive summer moods, freedom, writer's block, all that kind of stuff in these 2 interviews. And it's this dichotomy and stuff is just shows like how expansive and not generalized, how what's the word
You can do it.
I don't know if I can.
I wish I could help.
I
MC.
can only think in 6-second blocks before I have to say something. I don't know the right word, but just how encompassing music can
Yeah.
be. I think that's the
That's
right
a good
word.
one. I like
But
that.
what I'm trying to say is like you can go anywhere with music.
Yeah.
Nate and or Father Rhyme, I should say, and Caroline Skye have just covered two completely different topics, and putting them both in the same interview or same episode, I think is really cool. And going off that, even their influences are completely different. And I turn this question to all of you, courtesy of Emily, who wrote the question. But who are your musical inspirations? I know like myself and Jake, we're writers, but Emily and Allie, I don't believe you are, right?
I am not.
Okay. So either in writing or just everyday life.
Oh,
Who would like to go first?
jeez. Oh man, I could gush about this, but I'll keep it. A big one for me is the lead singer of AJJ, Sean Bonnet, who writes the songwriting is very simple and but it's very honest and it's very thoughtful, and that's always like something that's really big, both in like writing music and also just kind of speaking in like life, like honesty and kind of thoughtful expression is that kind of emphasis there is really cool. Also Sophie is a really big one for me, because like I don't know, her music was just so like I don't know, it's a whole other experience, and I don't know, a different, like you need to pay attention to it, and that's something that's really like staying in that state is important for me.
Right. Emily, Allie, how about you two?
I'll go. So, yeah, I don't write songs. I've always wanted to. I just haven't found myself
Should
being
do it.
creative enough.
Do it.
But like I do perform. I've been doing theater for 8 years, and like I sing and stuff. And one of my biggest inspirations in terms of like singing and performing has always been Adele. Ever since like a little kid, I just have always aspired to like be like Adele, and like her songs are just so relatable to the public. So I think that's like a very important aspect of music, is to have like that relatability where people can really understand like the words of the music and understand what what the artist is going through and all those different things. So her music has definitely been a large inspiration all throughout my life.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool. And Emily?
I love how I wrote this question, but I don't actually know what the answer is. Because I would just say, like, there's just tons of artists that I just listen to every day that I just am constantly inspired by. Because I don't write music, but I love singing and I love performing and doing all that kind of stuff. And the one artist, it doesn't necessarily like relate to my life, but something that comes to the top of my head is a band that I started listening to mostly in recent years is Cage the Elephant.
Oh yeah.
And I was actually performing their song Cold 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 at my school's talent show my junior year. And not too long afterwards, they started to come out with their album Social Cues. And I was really inspired by the lyrics of the songs throughout the album, because it was all about the lead singer like overcoming personal struggles and problems with his personal relationships and stuff like that. And I found inspiration in someone who was able to find like music as a creative outlet to overcome something that was very, negative in his life. And, anyone that talks about, issues that are real and genuine, I respect, and I thoroughly enjoy music like that.
Yeah, definitely. Same here. One of the many corners of my musical taste is the whole I forget what it's called. The whole mental health thing, like genuinely speaking about problems. And
Yeah.
a big band I've got into is Citizen Soldier, and it's not just the band and the lead singer speaking about their problems, but just overall encompassing problems that from fans and other people, like things the everyday person goes through.
Oh, absolutely. And if we're talking about artists that sing about problems, oh gosh, I have to mention Elliott Smith, who just wrote these beautiful, beautiful songs about addiction. And I think I don't know, even though he was specifically talking about drug addiction, it was it's something that can kind of apply to everyone in some way. The way he did it, he made it truly universal. That's a big wreck for me. Hard wreck.
All right. And then I'm also going to mention another corner of my music that's vastly different. It's just heavy music, like
Yeah.
stuff like clever. Like, I'm not just going to say heavy music because that's not really an inspiration for writing. It's the kind of genre I want to get into. But when it comes to writing, clever wordplay is always a big thing. And one of the bands that I really like that has it is you probably all guessed it, but it's Ice Nine Kills, especially their last 3 albums, Every Trick in the Book, Silver Scream 1 and 2, where they pay homage to books and movies respectively, and it's just chock full of references and clever wordplay and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
If I may work off of that, I would also like to mention that there's a song called 570 by Motionless in White. And they they basically just sing about their journey of becoming a band and all the hardships of being like a more hardcore band and people like kind of judging them for it. And basically the entire song is just about like, we don't care. We're still going to be doing our own thing. And I'm pretty sure 570 is the area code.
Yes, it
for
is.
Scranton, Pennsylvania, and
which is where they come from.
Yeah, and I thought that was really clever.
And if I may go off of that, it's funny we should mention both of those bands.
What?
Because we were talking yesterday, and apparently both of them are going on tour with Black Veil Brides next year. And we in the Discord for the radio, we literally almost sent the same exact picture to each other at the same time.
It's important, up-to-date information.
It is.
I saw it, and it's funny because I don't actually listen to really any of those bands. No, like I'm not very familiar with that.
That's fair.
But like I don't know. I feel like there's such big names that I'm always hearing about from like the more metal
in the metal genre, the
community, and I'm just like
big names. But yeah,
like wow, I kind of like I feel like now's the time to get into them.
I mean, I definitely recommend them.
Yeah,
I would have to agree.
Yeah. Although, see, Black Veil Brides are really good, but I only just got into them, so I don't know as much of their discography as with the other two. But I still recommend all of them.
I'd say I know like the basic songs, all that kind of stuff. But that's also like I was into them as much as I was into Bring Me the Horizon like years ago, and then I started getting into them like in the last 2 years, like heavy rotation in my playlist. So you never know. But definitely, anytime I see Motionless in White on tour, like I need to go.
Yeah. But with that being said, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We are going to take a short break, and then we'll move into hour 2 of the Morning Buzz. Stay tuned to that. Once again, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And welcome back to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. I didn't hit the unmute button in time, so my words trailed off and I had to start again. But welcome back to 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. You are now listening to hour 2 of the Morning Buzz. It is 8:04 a.m. on the nose, meaning we're in the second hour of the show. Jake, do you know what that means?
What's it mean, Kyle?
We're going from the Morning Buzz to the Morning Bonk. And yes, they made that joke during the Buzz Miss, but I would like to give me, or mostly Kenny Horn, our Morning Buzz producer, credit for that one, because me and him kind of came up with the joke at the same time, and I used it first on air, so I'm sorry, Kenny.
I don't know. We need to get all the mileage out of the joke that we can, because
we can.
That's a keeper.
But I do feel bad because I kind of stole Kenny's joke.
No one owns jokes.
Yeah,
you can't
that's
do
true.
That.
In other words, we have a really interesting show for you the second half today. We're going to be covering stories about the FCC, the Critics' Choice Association, and of course the air quotes one and only Florida Man. But before that, we have Ali Arario again, our newscaster, giving us the news. Ali, take it away.
Thank you, Kyle. And hello, everybody. My name is Ali Arario, and on this spectacular Tuesday, I am joining you from 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. In national news, there is currently a very powerful storm that is sweeping through Hawaii. This storm began on Monday and has destroyed several power lines as well as knocked down many trees thus far. In some parts of Maui, Hawaii, they have received over 30 centimeters of rain, and the storm unfortunately isn't predicted to end until Wednesday. In some statewide news, the first case of the COVID-19 Omicron variant was detected in New Jersey on Sunday. It was brought into the state by a Georgian woman who traveled to the state by plane. Researchers are unsure if the COVID vaccines can prevent the Omicron variant, although the woman who caught the virus was fully vaccinated. There's no current information on where she is quarantining, but her symptoms were described as moderate. Lastly, for some lighthearted Montclair State University news, on Wednesday from 12:30 until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there's going to be a Furry Friends for Finals at the Student Recreation Center. During this event, students can pet dogs as a way to de-stress from the end of the semester. So be sure to stop by to pet a furry friend. Now for some extended weather, today is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 48 and a low of 32. Wednesday is going to be cloudy and chilly with a high of 39 and a low of 28. Keep an eye out because there might be some potential snow flurries on Wednesday. On Thursday, we are going to see a very slight increase in temperature with a high of 42 and a low of 32. Although it will be fairly brisk, it will be sunny. Friday has a high of 47 and a low of 43 and will be cloudy throughout the day. On Saturday, there's a chance of rain showers with a high of 63 and a low of 61. And lastly, on Sunday, we will also have potential showers, but it will be colder than Saturday with a high of 53 and a low of 34. Thank you, and back to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And filling in for our sportscaster Campbell, we have Jake Getz here. Jake, what sports news do you have?
Oh man, now it's time for the 8 a.m. Sportscast. In Monday Night Football, the Patriots win 14-10 over the Bills. But check out this stat line for Mac Jones. The Patriots signal caller went 2 for 3, 19 yards, 0 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The Patriots are officially the number 1 seed in the AFC. Devils lose in a shootout to Ottawa. Now the Senators have flown back and will face the Islanders tonight. The Rangers are in Chicago to face the Blackhawks. Vegas Golden Knights netminder Robin Lehner becomes the first player to opt out of the Olympics, citing health reasons. In the NBA, the Nets face the Mavericks and the Knicks take on the Spurs. On this day in sports, Indiana's greatest export, Larry Bird, was born. This has been your 8 a.m. Sportscast. Back to you, Kyle.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And moving on into our top story for the hour. Jake, listen closely.
What's that I hear?
What you hear is the Manning cast may have a potential enemy named the FCC.
Well, don't we all?
According to NJ.com, the FCC is being asked to take a close look at the Manning cast. For those of you who aren't familiar, like myself, the Manning cast is an alternate broadcast of Monday Night Football hosted by former New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning and Pro Football Hall of Famer Peyton Manning, anchor ESPN's alternate broadcast of Monday Night Football. The show consists of a wide variety of guests from celebrities to former players like Marshawn Lynch. These guests have been unfiltered during their appearances on the show, and many saying things that are not suited for television. The FCC have received 3 complaints after Eli Manning flipped off America by flashing the double bird during a Week 3 game. Another pair of complaints were sent to the FCC following the Manning cast from Week 7 when the New Orleans Saints visited Seattle Seahawks. Marshawn Lynch was here saying a number of explicit words during the show. This prompted an apology from Peyton Manning saying, quote, "I want to thank Marshawn Lynch, not as wild about the language. I want to apologize for some of the language. It's not what we're trying to do on this show," end quote. But that wasn't enough for some viewers, and according to TMZ, one frustrated parent, likely a Saints fan, had this to say, quote, "I had children in the room at the time, and I am very upset that ESPN allowed Marshawn Lynch to repeatedly curse on live television. I have an expectation when I turn on ESPN that I will not have to remove my children from the room. End quote.
Oh man.
It's 7 words.
Yeah.
It's not hard to remember what you can't say.
Yeah. And to any FCC agents listening, don't take this as we're all buddies now and everything's good. But this is like we're not coming to bat for you. Don't get me wrong, but this does seem like a pretty clear-cut case where yeah, you really should keep track of what your guests say. You know, hit the dump button.
That's not even on FCC. That's Eli and Payton technically, because they run the show.
Yeah.
But also the people behind the scenes. They should screen.
Yeah.
A big rule allowing anyone on your show is you want to screen them.
Gotta
You
make
don't
sure
want to
they
be held
know.
responsible for anything they do. Then again, there's another complaint that said Eli Manning flipped the double bird. So that one's on him.
Yeah.
That's the host of the show.
Come on, Eli.
I feel
You
like
gotta-
especially on like ESPN though, like it has so much traction, so it could really have a negative look for the entire like
Very true.
everything.
Isn't ESPN also affiliated with Disney?
I think they are
Aren't
now,
they
yeah.
like they're owned by like I don't know if they're owned, but I know they're definitely affiliated in some way.
So
I
if
did
the
not know
FCC isn't
this.
getting involved, the parent company definitely will be. There's no way Disney is going to allow that to fly.
Yeah,
for
no,
much
it's owned
longer.
by the Walt Disney Company.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, you're
It looks like you're making multiple enemies now.
yeah, that's a
'Cause-
big problem.
Yeah, Disney's not going to let this fly. But what? How do you allow that? Number one, okay, I get it's live television, and you can't cover up mistakes as easily as you can, say, in something pre-recorded.
Mhm.
But usually in things like this, don't they have like blur effects that you can
Yeah,
like
or even
easily?
like censorship. Like, you know, like I feel like I used to watch Comedy Central and
Yeah.
like they just have like the bleeps,
Yeah,
you know, just put the little bleeps.
And
And I feel
although
like that's
that-
not hard.
although that might not be live, most live television or live radio isn't exactly live either. There's a couple seconds of delay.
Yeah, I'm sure that
So
there's some
if-
sort of equivalent with
Yeah.
TV.
There definitely is. So if Marshawn Lynch just started firing off swears, they would have a few seconds to be like, okay,
Should we
let's
do something
shut him
about this?
down.
Yeah.
But
Commonly, international delay is about 7 seconds.
yeah.
So yeah, just like radio.
And according to Isaiah, he says, according to TMZ, the FCC has no control over ESPN. Huh.
Wait, so ESPN could do what it wants?
Clearly not, or else we wouldn't be talking about them right now.
Wait, what is it? I guess FCC. What does that mean?
Well, was it said that the FCC like did anything about it, or were they just contacted about it?
So
Or they
far,
just-
it doesn't look like they've done anything. They've just been, people just filed complaints to the FCC about the Manning cast.
Mhm.
So no action has been taken yet. It's almost like an investigation right now.
Gotcha.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how these are stupid rookie mistakes.
Yeah, you know, I feel like that's like the first thing if you Googled how to start a television show. It's like, well, make sure you don't say any like non-FCC or like don't
Exactly.
say this like I don't know, like
7 words.
the George Carlin.
Exactly. There are literally
routine.
7 words you have to remember that you can't say on air. And most of us, or most people, use these words on a daily basis. So it's not like, oh, I forgot what the word was. No, you just like, how long is the Manning cast? An hour? 2 hours?
Um
I've never
Longer.
seen it.
Longer?
It's a whole game.
yeah, I guess they
Oh,
gotta, football
okay.
games are
Like-
so long, dude.
They are.
I don't know how people sit through those things.
That being said,
And I've read Infinite Jest. Like I'm a patient guy.
that
I don't
being-
know how anyone could sit through a football game.
That being said, you can't like switch your brain for like 4 hours and be like, okay, let me keep my language clean. Is it really that hard to do?
Mm-mm.
Thank you, Allie. So yeah, FCC, I'm gonna side with you on this one. I don't know what they're doing over at the Manning cast, and I'm not
Mhm.
just talking about all these complaints. I literally don't know what they're doing there. I don't understand football at all.
And Disney, control your
Control your children.
yeah. It's your kid over there. He's saying bad words. Get him to stop,
Put soap in his mouth.
please.
All right. With that being said, we're going to take a short little break. And when we come back, we have the nominations for the Critics' Choice Association Awards. So stay tuned for that here on 90.3 WMSC, the Tuesday Morning Buzz. And welcome back to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair Tuesday Morning Buzz. You know the deal. I've only been saying it for 14-ish weeks now. If you don't know what show runs at this point, check your local listings. I don't know. I'm your host, Kyle Pepitone, as always, except for that 1 week where I was not. Joined with my co-host, Jacob Getz, our newscaster, and Ali Arario. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. That being said, Jake has the next story for us.
Yes. We have the list of the Critics' Choice Association on Monday announced the nominees for its 27th annual Critics' Choice Awards. Okay, so the top titles by number of nomination airs Succession, show plainly entitled Evil, Mayor of Eastontown, Only Murders in the Building with 4 nominations, The Good Fight with 4 nominations, Ted Lasso 4 nominations, This Is Us 4 nominations, WandaVision 4 nominations, equal distribution. Dope Sick 3 nominations, Dr. Death 3 nominations, The Great 3 nominations, Hacks 3 nominations, Midnight Mass 3 nominations, Pose 3 nominations, Squid Game 3 nominations, The Underground Railroad 3 nominations, and What We Do in the Shadows 3 nominations. They also include top networks and streamers by number of nominations, but like I was kind of curious, like why are we giving awards to streaming services?
I mean,
They all do the same thing.
true, but that's a big thing of what TV is now. Like,
Yeah,
you
I know.
ain't finding Squid Game on cable.
I know. But like, why are we giving them awards? Like it's like, okay, you made a TV show. We'll give the TV show an award if it's good. But like, here's a trophy for existing. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, top networks by number of nominations. I think they mean.
Oh, the nominations of the shows.
Yeah, that's
okay,
what I
maybe
took it as. I could be wrong, but was my understanding of it.
Yeah.
That being said, I have never seen Squid Game yet. You can attack me later, but Isaiah is just exasperated in the corner.
I'm surprised by how little I know about these shows.
Yeah, like
only one
I
I
haven't
know is
heard of
Squid
many
Game.
of them, but I'm actually surprised based on how much I've seen on social media that Squid Game only got 3.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
Really?
Yeah. No, there's a big push against Squid Game.
Really?
Really?
Because it's kind of anti-capitalist, guys.
They're
They're not gonna, like, I don't know. Did you see all the op-eds? All the like in the New York Times, they're going after it.
Huh. I've
They're
heard
not gonna
nothing
give
but
that
praise
show.
about Squid Game. So
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Mike, our assistant engineering. He's not a producer. What is it called?
Assistant engineering, you're right.
Okay,
Director.
Director, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, he was talking about it, and that's a big thing he mentioned when he was telling me about it, that it's about
Yeah, it's a
anti-capitalism.
metaphor for capitalism and like
But I never
and
I never put 2 and 2 together that like the big
Yeah.
heads would be
yeah,
a
they're not,
little bit against
Yeah.
that.
not super into that
Huh.
that vibe. So it's not, but of course it is being recognized and it is pretty cool.
Right.
And I guess yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's an interesting show.
no, it's very good. I liked it a lot.
I'll,
I wish it ended better though.
Yes, I agree.
Hey, speaking of shows I wish that ended better, WandaVision is also nominated.
Oh yeah.
For-
I have not seen that one.
Me neither. And I feel bad. That's the only Marvel thing in recent years that's actually like kind of piqued my interest because it seems like it played around with like surrealism.
Now I know how you feel, Isaiah.
Yeah, I gotta get to that one. But gosh, watching a Marvel movie in 2021, or soon 2022. Oh man. I don't know if I could rock that look.
Sounds like you're not planning on seeing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't blame you. I don't have too much ambition to see it, but that's what we could talk about that another time.
But it's funny because a lot of these shows I am just not familiar with.
Yeah.
The two
Mhm.
shows that have the most nominations are HBO Succession and Evil.
From Paramount Plus. Yeah.
And I don't know either of those shows. I've never seen any of them.
Yeah.
I've
I-
heard of Succession, but I have no idea what it's about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like Only Murders in the Building I've heard of.
Oh my gosh, I saw some of that and I thought it was really bad.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I just thought the acting was really bad.
But it's Steve Martin.
I know.
I don't know if that
They're, like,
means
not
anything.
Good.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That one I've heard of. WandaVision, Squid Game, and What We Do in the Shadows.
What We Do in the Shadows was probably good because I know most of what Taika Waititi's done is pretty.
Oh, that's from him?
Yeah, no,
that's
that's
really cool.
one of his big shot things. I remember it was a film first and then they made it into a TV show. I still need to get to it. Yeah, that's all I think
Yeah.
I know.
So it shows you how bad I am at keeping up with modern
Yeah,
television.
This is really
heard
bad.
of-
I'm a television major. I'm supposed to know about all of this.
I've heard of 4 of these shows and have only watched one of them.
Yeah, I've
So,
only watched Squid Game really.
put me in like a 2008 award nomination and I might know a little bit more. But anything going
Gosh,
on
to be
this
in the
year,
early 2000s
whew.
again. In terms of
Uh,
TV, that was the golden age.
yeah.
Mhm.
Anything really before streaming services, I would consider the golden age because
I mean, I don't know. We've gotten some really good stuff from streaming.
we
services.
have, but streaming services have gotten to a point that it's so many that it doesn't make any sense to buy
Yeah.
them all because it's just as expensive as cable now.
Yeah,
That
but
being
like I don't know. I
said-
feel like never mind. We can move on.
Yeah, that being said, Isaiah poses the question to all of us: what are the main streaming platforms we use?
Oh, for me, it's primarily Netflix
Yeah.
and Hulu, and also Showtime because that's I guess material.
Right.
That's there's a college plan for that, and Spotify because I'm rocking with Spotify. But
Allie, what about you?
Also mainly Netflix, occasionally Hulu, but I don't like the ads.
yeah,
Like,
that is. I don't use Hulu that nearly as much as I use the other ones because of the ads.
and
I watch
then-
primarily YouTube, so I've become numb to the ads.
Oh, if YouTube counts, I watch YouTube far more than I watch
Oh,
any
yeah.
streaming service.
I
Yeah.
don't watch much YouTube.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's probably very good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, YouTube, technically, if we're counting YouTube, YouTube is my main one to the
Yeah.
point where it's a problem. And then once in a blue moon, I'll find something on Netflix and just watch that.
Yeah.
And
Some of
then
the-
once in an even bluer moon, I'll go over to Disney Plus. and
Oh yeah. Oh
maybe
gosh, I
catch up on
never look
something
at
I've
Disney
missed.
Plus.
Disney Plus, I'll just like watch if I'm feeling nostalgic or something.
Yeah. Like I've watched Mandalorian on Disney Plus, and that's about it. And I didn't even finish that.
Oh man, I really hated that show.
Really?
It was just like I don't know, not for any good reason. I don't know. I really did not vibe with it.
I mean, it's not for everyone.
I feel like Netflix has some good Netflix originals.
Oh,
though.
big
like
time.
Umbrella Academy was.
That was a good
I
one.
personally thought it was great.
Yes.
BoJack Horseman and The Midnight Gospel are two of like my favorite shows ever.
I forgot about Umbrella Academy. I haven't seen the second season. Once again, showing you how bad I am with keeping up with things that are relevant.
Was the second season of Umbrella Academy good? I was like so uninterested. Like I love the first season, but I was so uninterested in the second for some reason.
I
You are
also-
asking the wrong person.
I enjoyed the first season more than I enjoyed the second season. I also binge watched it because I got surgery, and so I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna watch.
Distraction.
And it was like really quick, kind of like the turnaround time that I
Mhm.
watched both of them. So I would honestly rewatch them again so I could really like focus on it. But I did enjoy the first season a lot more than the second season.
Well, if we're
Right.
talking about Netflix originals, I don't know how we forgot about Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I just wish they really stopped at the first season though.
I was
agree.
just gonna say
Yeah,
I
I
enjoyed
think-
the first season the most.
Like the first season is genuinely like a really special thing
Yeah.
that they really did an
Mhm.
amazing job with, but everything else is just sad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
season 2 and 3 become kind of repetitive.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They follow the same story formats as the first season, which is it's something fun to watch. But after the first season, it's not like they're doing anything spectacular.
I thought the third season had like a little bit of redemption. I did not like the second season at all.
Yeah.
Man, I honestly couldn't even tell you what happened in the second and third season. I remember something about Russians in the third season.
Yes.
There was the
Um,
slushy guy. I liked him. The cherry slushy.
Oh, Alexi.
Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah, but if you want to know what happened in Stranger Things, weird monster. They don't acknowledge it for like 3 episodes. Then they have the same cast of characters going in 3 different arcs, and then they all wind up in the same spot at the very last episode.
I remember the never-ending story.
that too.
That,
You mean the never ending
never-ending
live stream?
Oh my gosh! I remember I was at my first like one of the first meetings for WMSC I came to freshman year. They played that. And
Yeah.
I remember, like, I don't know. It's a lot more endearing to me now because I know a lot of the people in him.
Exactly.
But like, I remember at the time, I was like, it's kind of dumb. Like, I don't know. I was like, ugh.
And look at where we are now.
Yes.
Now we're the ones who, well, technically we didn't make a teaser for it, but we wrote the musical.
Yeah,
Which-
and that yeah, probably.
Pied de resistance. With that being said, those were your nominations for the Critics' Choice Association. I do want to ask before we move on, have you any of you ever heard of this?
No.
The Critics' Choice
Choices?
Awards.
Yeah.
Definitely the Critics' Choice Awards. It's not really something that you keep a close eye on because
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I don't keep a close eye on really any awards
Yeah.
system. It's really not
I really just don't listen to critics because, like, who are you to tell me what I'm gonna like or not?
I'm definitely interested in writing about, like, media criticism and just
yeah.
like all that, just like to hear another person's thoughts and takes on it. But
Very true, but it's often most times just all cynical. Like everything is bad.
there definitely is this kind of inclination when you're doing criticism to just kind of be like, this is the camera angles are ineloquently shot, and
Yeah,
like,
and most of the time it's from people who have never made a movie or
Yeah.
written music in their life. So I always take it with a grain of salt because my thing is don't knock something unless you can do better.
I don't know. I sometimes it's funny that, like, there is something to that, but also, like, if someone's really good at criticism, like, I don't know. I think
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
There's-
think
there's
it's
some
almost like
exceptions.
criticism is a skill in it of itself.
Right.
And like
Mhm.
making criticism is kind of making another piece of art. And I think even like, I don't know, I don't think that necessarily in order for your words to matter, you need to like
That's fair.
prove that you could do better. Like, I remember I think one really interesting example of this for me is a really amazing video essayist named Lindsay Ellis, who makes these awesome film criticism videos. But I don't know. I read she wrote a book and it wasn't super well received, but like, I don't know. Her criticism's still really good.
Yeah. There is a difference between like making a genuine, like really good criticism and just picking it apart because you hold some kind of bias.
Yeah.
But with that being said, those were your nominations for the Critics' Choice Awards. And we'll take a short break and we'll come back with the fun stories, all the weird stuff you want to hear about. So stay tuned for that here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. And welcome back to the Morning Buzz on Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. It's not the 17th yet. If it was the 17th, you would not be listening to us. You'd be listening to a different crew. And we'd also be very close to ending the semester. And I think a lot of people would be happy about that. But unfortunately, we still have doing math, 10 days to go before, I mean, not counting weekends, before the semester ends. How do you all feel about that?
There's a lot of work to be done, but it just kind of hit me as you said that like the 2nd to 20th is over and it's nighttime and all the work is done and it's gonna be Christmas if you celebrate Christmas.
I mean,
or
not
other
immediately. You still got a
holidays.
few days, but yeah, I get.
But
what you're
like,
saying.
still, it's gonna be just a month of vibing and holidays, and it's gonna be lovely.
I cannot wait. Allie?
I
What
feel
about
the
you?
same way. I feel like a lot of my professors are kind of assigning work this week rather than like next week. So I think after this week ends, it's going to be pretty much like smooth sailing. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. Well, my biggest gripes with this semester is the Monday classes. The 20th is the last day.
That
Meaning you
is
go
very
through
bad.
the whole week and it'd be like, psych, you still have one day.
Mhm.
It's not like, even if it was Monday and Tuesday, I'd be like, okay, it's more than one day, but it's one day.
I also take it as a personal offense
That
that we're having classes on my birthday.
yeah, that's even worse. Come on, Montclair,
The
what are you
20th.
doing?
It's the last day. Just
What are you
take it
doing?
off. It's just one day. No one's even gonna do anything.
It's all because for some reason the school likes to start the schedule on a Wednesday.
It's because the school hates me.
And then this year, because I don't think this normally happens, but this year we had the week school started on the Wednesday, and then the following week was Labor Day. So that
Thanks.
means we didn't start Monday classes until technically 2 weeks after the semester started,
Yes, I remember that.
which is why we're in this predicament now. And it's so dumb.
I hate it.
Why not start the semester at the beginning of the week? I never understood that in my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 semesters. Wait,
I think the idea is
5 semesters here.
The idea, I think, is to kind of ease the young freshmen who are terrified. And it's like, all right, you don't have a whole week of this. You just got to go for 2 days, get a vibe for it, and then come back. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I will say there's something disorienting about not starting your classes in order in your head.
Yeah,
Yep.
Like, I don't know. It was odd, kind of like, okay, this is how I'm going to start my week, but I haven't even done it yet
Yeah.
for the first 2 weeks.
I mean, technically, I only have classes on Monday and Tuesday this semester, so I didn't have anything to do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of that first week.
Nice.
And then, so I technically did start my week in order, and it's been an experience. That's all I can say about this semester. But this is a news show. We spent way too long talking about, I guess, the end of the semester is news. But
Yeah.
that being said, we are now in the last half hour of the Morning Buzz, hour 2. If you've been listening, you know this is time where we get the weird, the crazy, and everything in between. And we are starting off with the BBC.com, where a boss finds the worst way to let people know they've been fired. Vishal Garg, the chief executive of mortgage firm Better.com, has found a new reason to hate bosses around the world. Mr. Garg fired over 900 employees over Zoom. This wild choice had led to social media being outraged, calling it a horrible move, cold, and terrible timing. During the call, he made shocking revelation in this statement, quote, "If you're on this call, you're part of the unlucky group being laid off," end quote. "Last time I did this, I cried," Mr. Garg told the staff on call. He finished with, quote, "I wish the news were different. I wish we were thriving," end quote. Mr. Garg said staffing performances and staff performance and productivity and market charges lay behind the mass firing of what he said was 15% of Better.com's workforce. He didn't mention the $750 million cash infusion Better.com received from investors last week. Better.com's chief finance officer, Kevin Ryan, told the BBC, quote, "Having to conduct layoffs is gut-wrenching, especially this time of year," end quote. He added, however, that having, quote, "a fortress balance sheet and a reduced and focused workforce was necessary to take on the radically evolving home ownership market," end quote.
Oh, man.
How impersonal can you
So
get?
we were talking a little bit about anti-capitalism before.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I mean, how do you look? I know there are a lot of people who are out of touch, you know, like the higher up you are in the executive branch and the more money you're worth, the more out of touch you seem with the rest of society.
Yeah.
But how does it run through your brain that being like, yeah, I'll just fire all 900
Yeah.
people in one swift go.
Gosh.
Just set it up, an hour Zoom meeting. Hey, 900 people, goodbye, and meeting for all.
Yeah. Wow.
That's
Really cold stuff.
I wonder
Yeah.
what their thoughts were like going into the Zoom. Like, I wonder if they were thinking like, oh, we're getting a raise, or like something like, like if it was going to be like positive news, or if they were like expecting it.
right. Yeah. No.
I don't know. It is kind of insane how it's just they really do just have that power to just
Yeah.
Mhm.
just obliterate people's livelihoods
And while
just in one quick swoop like that.
And while it's a horrible thing to be laid off, this just takes it up to 11.
Yeah.
Because let's run through the facts. It was 900 people all at once over Zoom a few weeks before Christmas.
And for no reason.
I don't know if it was no reason.
Well,
it might have been no reason.
No reason of like the actual like it seems like it talks about this 750 million or yeah, that's
cash
a million,
infusion,
right?
yeah.
Cash infusion. So it doesn't seem like they needed to do it.
Yeah.
And it's nothing that like the
And the fact that
employees
he didn't
actually did to deserve.
Yeah.
Like,
And the fact that he didn't mention that too,
yeah.
kind of sketchy. And according to Isaiah, somebody recorded their reaction to being fired and put it to TikTok.
Oh man, I do not want to like
That's got to be hard to watch.
I do not want to see that.
Yeah, it's got to be hard to be the one fired, and then B,
Yeah.
it's not as hard to watch it, but it's still not going to be. It's not something you watch for enjoyment.
No.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's really insane that that they have this power to just kind of erase people's livelihoods.
Yeah,
And
and
in one
it's such
instance,
an
yeah.
inhumane. I don't know about inhumane.
It is
but, like,
inhuman. This is
yeah.
their livelihoods being taken away.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so out of touch, like corporate robotic way of doing it. Like, yeah, goodbye. How do you even like? Usually, it's like a pack your things. And please
No,
leave.
yeah. Unfortunately, it isn't that uncommon. It's really the scale of this that's the only thing.
Yeah.
The scale and the kind of impersonal nature of it that's really what makes
Impersonal,
the
that's the word I was
story
looking
stand
for.
out. But like honestly, anytime that you get fired
Yeah.
for no reason of like no reason, no explanation, it's a really unjust thing. I think there should be some sort of system
Well,
where you
usually
get some
there's
sort of way.
severance when you're fired.
Yeah, there's that.
So maybe
sometimes,
there was some of that, but like,
if you're lucky.
like firing somebody over Zoom is not the best way to do it, but it's understandable in these times,
Mhm.
especially since a lot of people working from home. To do it to 900 people all at the same time is like you were saying, why this is a news story.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that stories like these very demonstrate why we need some sort of democratic like structure
Yeah.
in the workplace.
Like he was I believe CEO means chief executive.
Yeah,
So like from my understanding of how CEOs are portrayed in media and not really knowing how much it does or how much a CEO actively does within the company, how much time do you really not have to spare to have to do this all at once? Because obviously, yeah, something like this would take time to do it individually, one by one to 900 people. But really, you can't make that time. Like you were saying, you're ruining these people's livelihoods.
Mhm.
You can't even just take the time to do it personally.
or better yet, just don't do it. Like I don't know if that's an option.
Yeah. But, it's unfortunately we can't do much about it, having no association with the company right now, but we're just here to report on it. That being said, Jake, would you like to read the next one?
Sure. Vendor sells Nazi gear at Biketoberfest in Daytona Beach. A vendor at a motorcycle rally in Florida briefly sold hats with Nazi symbols on it. The vendor said that she considered them a tribute to World War II veterans who helped defeat the Germans. The Daytona Beach News Journal reports that the vendor was selling the hats embroidered with swastikas and a skull and bones logo used by Nazi SS at a stand in Biketoberfest. an ongoing festival that draws thousands of bikers to the Daytona Beach area this month. The vendor said that she had sold the hats at other biker rallies around the country without complaint. The woman also sells rings, wallet chains, and hats without Nazi logos. Quote, "It doesn't mean what people think," end quote, said the vendor, who would only give her name as Jenny. Quote, "A lot of people don't know the history, so they label me as racist, which is not true at all," end quote. Marvin Miller, president of the Jewish Federation of Volusia and Flagler counties, expressed wary resignation about the item's sales. Quote, "It's just a shame in this day and age," end quote, Miller told the News Journal. Quote, "It never stops. We just have to keep with it and remember that we're still in America. Unfortunately, people abuse some of the wonderful rights we have and take it to extremes to spread propaganda," end quote. Jonathan Davis, whose photo of the merchandise posted Thursday on Facebook first noted its sale, thought he said that while Americans could disagree on politics, there was an agreement that Nazi imagery had no place in society. The owner of the property where Jenny was selling her goods ordered her to remove the Nazi merchandise, and she complied.
Okay. I want to say I read this wrong the first time. I thought she found World War II, like helmets or whatnot, like from the actual time period and was selling those. Not she was actively going out of her way to make
sell,
them.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally different story reading it the second time around. Wasn't good the first time, definitely not good the second time.
Yeah, one thing I want to say is that this explanation of "it doesn't mean what you think,"
Yeah.
it totally means what you think.
No, it doesn't mean what you think, Jenny.
Yeah, no, it definitely does. I remember I thought there was a quote somewhere near here about her saying that it was like, it's actually anti-Nazi. And no, that's not how it works.
No.
And I don't know. I have a feeling that like, I don't know. I always express like a huge amount of like, I don't know. I feel like she probably knows exactly what she's doing. I highly doubt that there's any like actual like ignorance there.
It doesn't mean what I think. It doesn't mean what people think it means is definitely a quote of I got to cover for this somehow. And just she did not put 2 seconds of thought into how she's going to cover
and
this
then
up.
Later she says, "A lot of people don't know the history, so they labeled me as racist." Honestly, from that quote, she's probably a Holocaust denier.
Once again, you don't know the history, Jenny.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's you read stories like this and you're like, there's no way people are that stupid. But there are. People are that stupid.
And there was a thing selling, like she was selling them, you know?
Yeah. It's not like nobody was buying. Like
I'm pretty sure I feel like I was reading that like fascism in Germany is kind of like a problem. I mean, it's a problem everywhere.
Well, yeah.
It's especially here. There was the whole thing about the Patriot Front doing their march on Washington.
Right.
Yeah, it's really bad right now.
I'm wondering if this could like turn into some issue with the law, like in terms of like maybe being a hate crime. I don't know. I know every state like has different laws in terms of like hate crimes and stuff, but it potentially could. I don't know. Where was it? South Carolina, North Carolina? Oh wait, no, it was Florida. I don't know what Florida's.
Are you surprised?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Something I'd expect out of Florida, but at the same time, why?
Yeah.
It goes back to what we were talking about the other one. I know some of you are out of touch with reality, but how does this go through your brain and get approved by every part that's involved in thinking?
Well, a lot of people have been like so brainwashed by misinformation. And a lot of even like conservative talking points kind of push them in this direction, and it's radicalized. And I know they
but even
we talked a lot about the internet and how like people fall down these pipelines of misinformation through Facebook, through YouTube, and it really radicalizes them into these far right kind of ideologies.
Very true. But how can you be so misinformed that you go, yeah, no, the swastika is not a Nazi symbol. It means something different.
Oh, well, because they
That's not misinformation. That is just
They're
we're
lying.
starting off brain dead.
No, it's not that they're brain dead. It's that they're lying. They know exactly what it means. They're just saying whatever they need to say to
Good point. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that part.
like kind of disavow.
Yeah, to cover
sort of.
themselves.
That's the kind of what the game is all about, to say what it is and say like, oh, I'm not saying that, but I'm 100% saying that.
Yeah. Okay. Good point. Forgot about that. Well, moving away from essentially propaganda, but still staying in Florida, we have from TampaFP.com, Florida man charged with shooting a flamethrower at a neighbor's car with children in it. I don't know which story's worse. A Florida man was arrested after trying to light up his neighbor after a dispute over a parking space. According to police, 57-year-old Andre Abrams was angry over parking issues in his neighborhood. So like any rational adult, Abrams armed himself with an XM42 light flamethrower. Police say that Abrams, armed with the flamethrower, came out of his home and began to spray flames towards the neighbor's vehicle. According to police, 3 juveniles were in the car that was being targeted by Abrams, although witnesses say the flames came within 5 feet of the vehicle, but not actually on it. Abrams admitted to the police that he was throwing flames, but said that he was not targeting the children inside the vehicle. Abrams was charged with three accounts of aggravated assault and released on a $45,000 bail. The XM42 light flamethrower can shoot feet up to 20 feet away and uses gasoline and butane for fuel. And there's a video that shows this.
Oh, man.
Oh, why?
I want to know where he got a flamethrower from. Like he was like, "Oh yeah,
Good
let me just grab
point.
my
Wait, was it
flamethrower
Elon
next to my
Musk?
cereal."
I don't think so.
Oh, it's not the Boring Company flamethrowers?
No.
Aw,
Maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm not well versed in.
That's an interesting
Science
thing.
to know
I'm
what
not
it
sure how the legality around owning flamethrowers.
Well, keep in
feel like it
mind, this
can't
is
be
Florida.
Yeah,
so
I know.
what we might think as rational legally here might not apply there.
Yeah, it might not be the thing. Though I do have to say, this is what car culture does to us. You know, if this, I'm sure no one's gonna bust out any flamethrowers fighting over a spot in a high-speed train.
Careful what you say.
So apparently only the only state that it's not legal to own a flamethrower is California. Everywhere else you can own a flamethrower.
I'm sorry. Wait, what?
I don't know.
I
According
could see
to the
California being,
internet.
Legal. So it is legal to own a flamethrower everywhere except California.
because they got the wildfires. No one should have a flamethrower.
Is
there.
that the only reason people shouldn't have a flamethrower?
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty big one.
Yes, but also there's many more reasons. And according to Isaiah, he wrote, in the USA, flamethrowers are federally unregulated and not even considered a firearm by the BATF.
Oh, geez.
No need for any NFA tax stamps, weapon licensing, or even an FFL dealer.
Now I know what I'm going to ask for my birthday.
What do you mean flamethrowers are unregulated?
Yeah, wow. That is, gosh.
Hot take.
I feel a little less safe in the world knowing that.
Hot take, pun intended. Flamethrowers are more dangerous than firearms. That's my opinion.
No.
I don't know. Because firearms,
Yeah.
for the most part, are
try
in
to
control
defend this. Okay.
of the person using them.
Wait, repeat that.
A firearm,
A firearm.
and the ammunition contained within are largely in control of the person using it. Once the flames leave the flamethrower and catch something, you have lost all control of what you've done.
I guess to an extent that's true. But I don't know. I think
Obviously neither of them are safe by any
Yeah,
means.
um
But still, a flamethrower has more of a chance to go wildly out of control.
I guess yeah.
is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I okay. No, there's truth to that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that necessarily extends them being more dangerous.
Yeah, that's fair. They're roughly on the same plane of what are you doing? Why
Yeah,
do you have
oh
one of
gosh.
these? Like I can understand somebody kind of saying, "Oh, I keep this for self-defense." You can't justify keeping a flamethrower for self-defense.
Oh yeah, no.
But like, how is that self-defense if you're using it over a parking spot?
Oh
Also?
no,
like that's
no, you
crazy.
lose
Yeah.
all credibility. He has
Yeah.
no credibility right now.
That's
especially-
I'm trying to
super
think, like,
okay.
even like, what else would you say that you use a flamethrower for? Other, like, the most innocent
Marshmallows?
reason is like, I just like burning stuff, but like,
Which is the problem in its own.
no, like, I mean, I don't know, if you like burning stuff, that's cool. Like, I don't know, as long as you're
I
careful.
believe that's called arson.
No, stop.
it's not exactly,
not
but-
like you know, if you just want to get a bunch of logs or like, I don't know, something,
Still, a
and
flamethrower
take
seems
it
overkill.
out somewhere remote and burn it in your own, like, I don't know, that's your God-given right. But like, I don't know.
But at the same time, a flamethrower for anything is pretty overkill.
Yeah, like, I don't
Mhm.
know. You could do other stuff with that. Like, I
Also,
don't.
Can we bring up that this man told police I was, once again, quote, throwing flames, but was not targeting the children in the car? What do you mean?
Were the children okay? I'm hoping.
So according to witnesses, the flames never actually reached the car, so I assume they're okay.
Oh. So
Probably traumatized.
did they hit anyone?
I don't think so.
Okay, so he was just kind of like threatening, like,
Yeah, but still,
Honestly-
he came within 5 feet. The
Okay,
flames
yeah.
came 5 feet within the car.
that is okay. That is very close.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I really hope the children were all right.
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah, according to Isaiah, no people were hurt during the article.
Okay,
Thank
I'm very glad to hear that.
goodness.
Um,
But also, just everything about this article, even the way it's written, throwing flames.
throwing
I
flames.
just hate that. I hate that that's how he referred to it as,
Mhm.
because it's very close to the phrase spitting fire, which is not the same thing. And honestly, it would have been much preferred if he did that.
Mm.
If he just-
steals his sparking spot and just starts just
If he just
throwing out
freestyled,
absolute bars.
if he just freestyled about the parking space, this would have been so much better.
Oh man,
But no,
that'd make me happy.
he said, "Let me go grab my XM42 flamethrower. That'll show them." I need a minute because I don't know what to say about this one anymore. So, Jake, can you wrap up this show with the last story we have?
yes.
Or I'm sorry, one of the last stories we have.
One of the last. I'm gonna look through them and okay, there's only two.
Yeah. Flip a
Um,
coin, you decide.
oh man, I'm gonna do this. The very last one.
All
A
right.
volunteer at Bolton Farm dies after attack by sheep. Aw. Okay. Wellesley woman was volunteering at a farm, was killed Saturday when a sheep attacked her, police said. Kim Taylor, 73, a retired nurse, was alone in a pen at Cultivate Care Farms, feeding livestock when a sheep repeatedly rammed her, according to a police department news release. Police and medical workers responded shortly after 9 a.m. Taylor, who went into cardiac arrest, was rushed to UMass Memorial Marlborough Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. There were no witnesses to the incident, according to the farm. This time of the year is very end of breeding season, which could cause a ram, a male sheep, to act erratically. Such attacks in livestock are often carried out in males, Leduc said, though neutering can help deter some aggression. And when these attacks happen, it's not necessarily motivated by the animal's desire to kill a human, he explained. Animals lack the logic to know that their actions could hurt someone. It might be acting on their territorial nature, or simply their desire to move from one place to another, and someone is in the way.
Ah, that's
That's
unfortunate.
sad.
Man, sheeps are terrifying. I didn't know that. No one told me to be scared of sheep.
I mean, I was kind of hoping to end off on a happy note.
Yeah, I think I misread the headline. I think, like, I don't know, I saw attacked by sheep and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And then, like, I didn't know she died, though.
I know.
Like,
When I first heard the
I'm
word
so
sheep, like I
sorry.
thought about like a baby, like a tiny little
Yeah.
sheep.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate to hear, especially because she was
Yeah, and like a volunteering at a farm.
Yeah.
How sweet could you be? Like, oh,
Mhm.
It is very unfortunate. And she was a retired nurse too. So she's
ah,
had a long career of like helping people too.
yeah.
To
Mhm.
see her, unfortunately, not make it out of this attack. Because it's not like they found her there. Like police and medical workers responded and did their best, but
Yeah.
they just couldn't.
It's sad.
Yeah, unfortunately. But with that being said, we have reached the end of the morning buzz. At this point, we have one more Tuesday buzz before the end of the semester. So we hope to see you all there.
Wow.
Once again, I'm your host, Kyle Pepitone, joined with our co-host, Jacob Getz, our newscaster, Ali Aurario, and the ghost of Isaiah in the background. Stay tuned. And like always, King's Chaos is up next here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.